What is the best method for a successful GG plant propagation? Hello my fellow YouTuber, welcome back. This is Marcelina at cashewgreens.com. This video is about GG plant propagation by stem cuttings and leaves for fast, easy rooting. But before we continue this video, if this is the first time you discover my gardening channel, consider to like this video, share to all your friends, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. So let's get started and see you in the other side. Alright guys, I already have a video on how to clone the GG plant, but today in this video I'm going to share with you my little secret of how I propagated tons of GG plants by stem cuttings and leaves for fast, easy rooting. So if I share this secret to you guys, it would not be a secret anymore. I just love to see you successful in all your propagation, not just to propagate the GG plant, but to propagate any kind of plants that you would want to grow in the garden. So stick around. Keep watching until to the end, because before the end of this video I'm going to show you an awesome result. My number one secret is the propagation site. Now the propagation site affects your ability to root all your cuttings. The propagation site has to be controlled, and only you can control it. Meaning that you control the amount of sunlight, the amount of watering, the amount of temperature, and the amount of the humidity in that site. So the ideal temperature or the ideal humidity for the cuttings to be able to start callousing or to generate root is at least 65% humidity. So if you put this in a controlled environment, you control that humidity. Now the second secret that I'm going to share with you is the Clonex Gel. Now the Clonex Gel is a synthetic hormone that will help you speed up the rooting process. Now plants has their own natural rooting hormones. They have their ability to repair themselves, to generate roots, but it takes a little bit longer by the plants to do that. But if you're serious about propagation, then you need to apply a very effective methods of rooting those cuttings. So that's why I always share this Clonex Gel, because it contains a 3% of butyric acid that will help you initiate rooting. So that is my second secret. So now let's begin propagation. Start with the leaves. Alright, let's begin the propagation by leaves. I'm not going to show you guys the whole entire process of how to cut the leaves. I'm just going to show you a little bit in here on how to harvest the leaves for propagation. Now always apply the basic principles of gardening, which is the sanitation. So I have the alcohol in here, I have the sharp knife, and I have the tissue. So first, before I start cutting, I have to apply the pruner first with alcohol, then wipe the alcohol. Now I'm all set. So then take cuttings of all of your GG plant. So here I thought this one is flower. It is not, it's leaves. So it's a new leaf, so I'm not taking that because it's new. So I'm just taking here, like here I have this I have these leaves in here. Now I will cut down to the base. See that? So that's how you take cuttings. So most of this thing, I strip this stem in here, and it's naked. So here, like this one here, I have a new shoot. I have a lot. Look at that. There's a lot of baby shoot. So just take the matured leaves, like it in here, and then when you that line in there, you have to take that out, and here you go. So now we're going to bring this one back to the greenhouse, and I'm going to show you the propagation site. Now as I mentioned, the propagation site has to be controlled, and it is only you who controlled it. So let's begin back to the greenhouse. Okay, so we're back here. Now this is the propagation site that we are going to use for fast rooting. So this is the dome tree or mini greenhouse. So this is a advanced gardening channel, guys. So most of my video in here is more advanced, because I want you guys to learn the most advanced method on how to grow plants in the most easy and fastest way. So if you don't see here that I'm using some of the basic principles of gardening, I want you guys to learn more than what it is in terms of growing the plants. So this is the mini greenhouse, and if you want to see about on how to build this mini greenhouse, I have a video on this. Watch that video. It's easy to build, and this is the best propagator that I have here in the greenhouse beside the fogponics system. But we're going to use that fogponics system as my second method of propagation. So let's begin. Okay, so let's begin with the Clonex Gel, is one of our rooting hormones to speed up our rooting. So I have it in here. I will drop a little bit. Okay, just drop a little bit here. You don't need too much. And then just keep in mind, don't stick your cuttings inside the bottle because you don't want to contaminate the whole bottle. So just take a little bit amount of gel in here. So then you coat the leaves, base. All of them is coated. Alright, so I'm going to show you here how you do it. Using the mini greenhouse, the humidity is controlled. So inside of this greenhouse is at least 65% humidity. That is the most ideal humidity that you need for your cuttings to start growing. So with a pencil or your finger, but I have the pencil here, you create a hole and then you stick your leaves in here. After you stick the leaves, you press it down. Then water the cuttings. After you water the propagation side, you leave all the cuttings that you propagated in here. So I'm not really labeling here because I already have label. I have one that I stick it in there already. So I'm just sharing it to you that always label your propagation, the name of the plants, and also the time you propagated. So I'm going to enclose this. Okay, so close the vent, close the propagation side with the dome. Okay, now as I mentioned in my previous video, that if you are forgetful, sometimes I forget. One time I forget my my propagation. I close it and I forget to open the following week. It was not bad, but I recovered it. So if you forget, so it's better just open the vent all the time until all these plants start growing. So just open it because you still have this humidity control in here, still have this temperature, perfect environment for the cuttings, and you need moisture in here and humidity, but at the same time the moisture, most of the moisture is escaping outside because you don't want too much moisture. So what happens, it is building too much moisture, everything wants to grow in there. You grow your root and also you grow fungus, so you don't want to do that. So you have to control your environment. So this is the perfect one. Okay, so that was not hard. It was easy breezy. You just take the leaves and then put it in the dome tray. So again, this is Advanced Gardening channel, guys, and I do a lot of experiment in here. I do a lot of propagation in here, and when I learned something new, I would be excited to share it with you, because this is advanced. I want to learn something more, the most effective ways in growing the plants, so it would not be basic gardening. So this is more advanced. As you can see, I use the different methods of propagating the plants. I use the different methods or different products that I use here to speed up the rooting process. So if you see me doing the fogponics or the different types of system, so that means that I would want you guys to follow all of these methods, because this is a good methods when you do your propagation. If you want to have more successful in all your propagation, then this is the best way that I'm going to show it to you. Okay, so let's begin with the other propagation. Okay, so when you take cuttings, so you do the same principles. Spray alcohol with your pruner. I already sprayed alcohol, so I'm not doing it. So to take cuttings, you can take cuttings in a stem in here, and if you wanna select the good stem, you can do that. But this is just to show you guys on how to propagate the stem. So I'm going to take this one here because it's already I wanna keep this one. I wanna grow this one here. So just cut down base in the base, just below this one here. There you go. So you stick this one. Okay, let's I'm not going to show you the whole entire propagation in here, so I just want to show you how you cut these stem cuttings and how to propagate this. So let's go back again to the greenhouse. Okay, so the next propagation, the propagator that we're going to use here is the fogponics. So I have the video on this, on how to build your own fogponic system, and also how to propagate tons of plants using the fog system. So watch that video if you want to learn more on fogponic system. So I like the fogponic system because, as you can see here, look at that guys. All in here is already rooting. I propagated a lot of Hoya in here. I'm going to follow up with you about my experiment with the Hoya, but at this time we stick with the GG plant. So what you need is just the same scenario, the same manner. You just put this one here, cut your stem, and then here I'm going to use this one here. I will this one is already not used, so I'm going to use this. So this is the easiest method, guys, of propagation. So as I show it to you in my videos, that you need an insert, you need a knit cap. The knit cap has to be 3 inches. So now you just, after you cut this, and you just insert in here, and you can also put a lot of plants in just one insert. Like what you see here, I use seeds. Look at my seeds, guys. Look at my seeds. Can you see that? So it's a lot. I put a bunch in here. So this type of propagation is very useful in propagating most of the cuttings, especially if it is softwood cuttings. This is my sweet potato. My partner threw it on the ground, and I said, hey, don't throw that on the ground. I like that sweet potato. He said like, what are you gonna do with this sweet potato? You have too many sweet potatoes. I said, hey, I eat this sweet potato, okay? So this sweet potato, as you can see, look at that, guys. The root is so cute. So what you need is just put it in here, and put it in here, place that, and then as I mentioned, label the cuttings, and then time and date. So that is easy. Build your fogponic system. I have a video. Watch that video. 12 weeks later. Would you like to see the result, guys? What's the result of our propagation by leaves? So let's check it out. propagating GG plants by leaves using the mini greenhouse or dome tray was 12 weeks. Propagating the stem cuttings using the fogponics was 4 weeks. So there was a time duration based on the propagator that we use to propagate those GG plants. If you guys want to see more advanced gardening method, just check the suggested video you see on the screen at the end of this video. And if you have any questions, just write comments below. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, consider to subscribe. Also, don't forget to share to all your friends, and see you next week. Adios.